What's up, guys? Welcome back to Horsepower and Bourbon Week 5. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. And before we get this all kicked off, it's going to be a shorter episode, but before we get this kicked off, if you consider hitting that subscribe button, bell notification, thumbs up, all that fun stuff, I would greatly appreciate that. So, for this week, we are going to have Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. So, some of you may be like, well, who are these Russells? And why should I care? You may be a little more familiar with their main line, which is Wild Turkey. I'm sure everyone's heard of Wild Turkey. So this one is, well, as it says, a single barrel. So all the bottles are unique, similar to a store pick, but not exactly. So every bottle's a little different. They do a lot of store picks, group picks, all that kind of stuff. So it is 110 proof, so a little more high octane item this week. But very smooth and very good. So what all did we have go on last week? Last week we tore down a, let me think, it's a 96 to 98 Cobra came in locked up. Kind of common to see that on those years of 4 valves. So this car had nitrous on it and had a few bottles sprayed through it, I would guess. But upon teardown, we found a spun rod bearing that had locked up pretty good. Some of the other bearings showed some pretty good signs of detonation, probably from, because I don't think the car had a tune on it. Just had a wet kit on there, and the guy had a lot of fun with it. So that is now out at Bischoff Engine Services. So we spent a lot of time here lately tearing engines out and sending them off. So that's eventually there'll be a lot of episodes of stuff going back together and running, hopefully. So then I'm gonna throw in, I started playing around a little bit with HP Tuner's Race Render program, which lets you do some data overlays and stuff like that. We talked about how road cone spun on the dyno pretty good. I'm going to insert a video right here. Pay attention to the tach and the speedometer as soon as I floor it. So as you can see, it shot up mile an hour very, very quickly, and the RPM went right to, I want to say, 8,800 or so. A lot of RPM. So fun stuff, right? Then what else? Then last week we also had a few new drop-offs done. Also had a Camaro on the dyno. I'll insert that here. An NA heads cam deal, had an intake manifold, cold air, you know, typical bolt, close to, I hate the term, but full bolt-on car. Done some pulls for him. Done really, really well. I will not say his dyno numbers. I didn't really get an okay from him to say the dyno, so we'll just keep that to here. If he wants to say it, I'll come back and post it in the comments or something like that. Then finished up all the degreen on Larry's cams for the limited street car. So that should be going on the dyno. Let's see, it's Tuesday. So hopefully tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, have that on the dyno. Get some video of that. Hopefully hopefully all of our math and theory on paper actually equates to some quantifiable gains. Hopefully some good gains. Then what else did we finished up? Just some odds and ends. You know, we got engines out all over the place, getting rebuilt. Just that time of the year. And then we're waiting on. We would hope to see some of our tracks open here locally, but that's obviously not happening as far as Ohio goes. Surrounding states are starting to open back up, so looking forward to. Apparently, we're going to have to travel to test. Our NMRA St. Louis race got postponed. I mean, that we talked about last week. You know, they had to. That's down to the wire, I guess, on them for decision time. Then Illinois is just. I don't know. Just not opening up. But it's. Well, you know, we'll hopefully get all through that. So that pushes our next NMRA race to the end of June at Atlanta, Georgia. So luckily Georgia is open. So, you know, 99.9% sure that race will be a go. So that's a plus. So all the cars will be ready. We are going to look for I'm just going to have to travel, I guess. So looking for something, you know, quick, easy to get to in a day and test and maybe drive back that same day. We'll see. There's some local events, but the weather aren't looking too good for them. So then first track open, so I imagine it's going to be kind of a cluster. Like within close drivable distance to us, that is. But we'll see. Hope everybody down there has a good time. But let's see. Then upcoming, we'll have some dyno stuff coming on. Oddly enough, more teardowns. We got pulling a couple transmissions out, upgrade some turbos, that type of stuff. Just busy. But I wanted to keep this one short, but wanted to keep up with getting a weekly horsepower and bourbon out to you guys. Hopefully everybody is, whatever state you're in, hopefully it's getting back to normal. I think this Friday here, restaurants get to start serving people outside, so I'm sure there'll be a bunch of tents and stuff like that. Following week, 50% inside capacity. I just want all this to be over so we can go back to our normal. I mean, go back to what we should have been doing this whole time. But, yeah. So, that'd be it for this one. Like I said, if you would please consider hitting that subscribe button down in here somewhere. The bell notification, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Greatly appreciate that. And we will see you guys next week. See ya.